you are listening to
the WrestleGeddon podcast.
WrestleGeddon podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's another Friday night, and we are here to talk some wrestling with you all. Of course, it's the WrestleGeddon podcast. I'm Chris Heat Matthews. He's the Tennessee Jesus, Carl Crossland. Carl, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling, living, LIVIN.
Living large and in charge. Oh man, it has been, I don't know, it hasn't really been like a very impactful week in wrestling. Coming off the last week being the week after WrestleMania. So now we're 2 weeks out from Mania. Of course, we're starting to see more stuff develop, more storylines, all that fun stuff. But we'll get into all that a little bit later when we get into the instant replay. Slow news week. We'll talk about some of the releases that happened today too. We'll get into that a little bit later. But first, we're going to kick it off here like we always do. And that's with the Random Band entrance theme. Holla, holla.
I'm gonna have myself.
Well, who the hell put this on? So random.
For fuck's sake.
It was the Pretenders. The Random Band for this week. Quite a few songs that I recognize from them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I recognized like one for sure, and like I didn't know it, but like I knew that I've heard it. And then there's like another one that kind of seemed familiar, but I was like, I don't know if I'm just wanting to know it or if I actually know it. You know what I mean? But it feels like I've heard it.
Sounded familiar, but not sure. Not 100% sure.
But the reason why they're called the Pretenders is because people had to pretend to like them. No, I'm kidding. They were all right. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm sure there was somebody else. They kind of had that like classic like 80s like pop rock sound.
Awesome stuff. So what song did you go with?
I decided to go with the song that I heard before, definitely. And coming out to Middle of the Road.
All right. Awesome. I went with a newer song, and that was Hate for Sale.
Hate for Sale. I don't think I listened to that. It must not have been up there on their like greatest hits or whatever I was going through. I listened to about 10 songs.
Gotcha. I just looked it up on YouTube, and that's
What popped up?
yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
How recent was it?
Within like the last couple of years, I think, if I remember
Oh,
correctly.
okay. Okay. Yeah, everything I listened to, I think was like from the 80s. It definitely sounded like it was from the 80s in a way. Like
Yeah,
a couple were remastered.
Because they started about in the late 60s. So
I didn't research the
yeah,
origin.
yeah, out there like Aerosmith, man. I was like, cool, man. All right, some good stuff there. There's that one, and there's I had another song too, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I just wrote down Hate for Sale. Good stuff. All right, who we got for next week?
Next week we have the Sex Pistols.
Ooh, the Sex Pistols. Nice. release. Awesome.
Another, they're 80s too, right? 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80s British.
Punk
Yep.
rock.
Awesome stuff. All right. So there is our random band entrance themes for the week from the Pretenders. And next week we'll pick one from the Sex Pistols. And that's going to bring us into the longest segment of the show, the instant replay. So like I said earlier, hasn't been like a very news or noteworthy week this week, but until today. So a bunch of releases that came out today. A few of them were kind of surprising. I'm not gonna lie. A few of them not very surprising. So we'll get into that. This comes off the heels of corporate releases as well, which included a member of the creative team. I'm not 100% sure if these are just straight up released from contracts or like, hey, your contract's up, we're not going to re-sign you type of thing. So, but some of the releases, well, this is what we got so far for the talent. Braun Strowman, Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, and Riley Osborne. I don't know. Riley Osborne's the only one on this list that doesn't ring a bell to me.
Riley Osborne. I don't know.
NXT.
Is it a dude or a girl?
What's up?
Riley Osborne. Is that a guy or a girl?
I don't know. I'm about to look it up now. I should have done this beforehand. But
yeah,
it's a guy.
Some of those like I can definitely
he was
see.
in okay, he was one of the Chase U guys.
Which one?
He wasn't featured heavily as part of Chase U, but he was like towards the end of their before they got split up, he was there quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not like some of the Fatu. Had a couple of was it beer or vodka commercials or something? I forgot what he was pushing. They had him like I don't know doing something before SummerSlam or WrestleMania last year. Other than that, like he hasn't really done anything.
Yeah,
that
one
noteworthy.
I wasn't very surprised with. Because the biggest things that we got from him was, like you said, the feud with Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed. Those are like the two biggest things he's done since he was re-signed with the company a couple years ago. I got to sneeze. So.
Again, I mean, besides the tag division, a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, this never could get over.
Yeah. Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, and Gigi Dolan were surprises to me. They were kind of like Gigi's been featured quite a bit on NXT with Tatum Paxley and has been going back and forth to TNA as well. because she was just on TNA's pay-per-view this past weekend for the Knockout Tag titles. Dakota Kai has been featured quite a bit up until recently. Same with Shayna Baszler. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Really haven't seen them quite frequently on TV. But yeah, Baszler, Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan are probably the three names that surprised me the most as far as getting released or not being re-signed or whatever the situation is.
I mean, like, it's still with this, and I think I'd make this like every just gripe kind of every time we do like releases. They got released, or they're gonna go to AEW and turn it around. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all these people. I mean, they could go on. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, some people can be Swerve Strickland. And other people, they didn't have it. They could go away, come back. We'll see.
Absolutely. I mean, Indy Hartwell was just announced at Rebellion to be one of the newest members of TNA's Knockouts division. As well as that, too, they introduced the former Alicia Fox on TNA as well. So, I mean, you show up somewhere. And I don't see Gigi Dolan or Dakota Kai just disappearing anytime soon, especially Gigi, because she made a pretty good name on herself on the independent scene before going to AEW and then to WWE.
Yeah.
So that's the list of confirmed releases so far. There are some other ones that are rumored, but we haven't seen or heard anything yet pertaining to them. There's Cora Jade, Shotzi, and Austin Theory. So, like I said, that's just rumor, hearsay. Like, nothing's been confirmed on those three names yet. They've just kind of posted some odd tweets over the last few hours or the last couple days. So, like tweets that you would think that they were let go from the company or something, but. So yeah, so there's that. We did get some news with pertaining to Liv Morgan. She will be out for about a month filming a new movie, which is being filmed in Japan.
Okay.
I believe it's an action movie. I can't remember what the name of the movie was off the top of my head. So that's what happens when I don't write stuff down.
Maybe she'll come back and join Rock's Hollywood faction.
Yeah. Let's see. Bad Lieutenant Tokyo.
Okay.
That's the name of the movie. U.S. and Japanese co-production. Since she'll only be out a month, they still plan on keeping the women's tag titles on Liv and Raquel. A lot of people are kind of PO'd about that they shouldn't have won the titles back if they knew Liv was going to be leaving to do this movie. Which kind of blows my mind that people care about women's tag team championships now. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, until they actually do something with them, like, I don't mind them being on Liv and Raquel.
Yeah. I mean, we've had Roman Reigns hold that title and, show up like every couple months.
Yeah.
Which is better than Lesnar, who, showed up like every 6 months as a champion. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little bit of news I've got for the week. I don't think anything else has come out yet.
Seth Rollins come out dressed like a shower curtain.
Da. Yep. Yeah, nothing else. Nothing else. You are noteworthy. All right, let's get into some Raw. A few things I got here for Raw recap. One of the big things is Pat McAfee calling out Gunther after that attack on him and Michael Cole the previous week. Pat gave a very passionate speech about, sticking up for his friend and having his back, and said he wants to kick Gunther's ass at Backlash.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I don't think he's gonna kick his ass, but I'd like to see that match.
No. I'm sure he'll get some offense in, but it probably won't be a lot. I think Gunther's going to choke his ass out in like 5 minutes. I think this might be a way.
He's gonna pay his dues.
Yeah, I think this is a way for. I think Pat's probably got something coming up with ESPN or something that he is probably going to be off TV for a little bit for. So,
yeah,
we will see what happens. But he did sell that choke pretty well on his podcast the next morning, the Pat McAfee show. He's trying to sound like he was a little hoarse from it. So props to Pat for attempting to do that. We had a segment with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. I believe this kicked off the night. Rollins gave Sami an ultimatum. Said, you're either with us or you're a target. He's like, by the end of the night, you need to decide. He's like, I want to save you. I don't want to hurt you. You're my friend. Paul can pull some strings and get you moved to SmackDown. Just so, we don't have to hurt you. And of course, the end of the night goes around. Sami says no. And then, he gets his ass kicked. So we move on from that triple threat match at Mania between Rollins, Punk, and Roman to now Rollins feuding with Sami.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it's not bad.
I mean, it's the only thing sucks about making Cena champion is you can't involve the actual people really want to see into the storyline, because Sami versus Seth Rollins, people are going to want Seth Rollins to beat him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of stupid, in my opinion. This is why I kind of hate that idea. And you can't really put him against Jay.
I think
Jay,
at some point.
You can't do that either, because you just made him champion.
I think we're gonna build to another Punk Rollins match with this, especially with the involvement of Heyman. It just seems like that would be the big money match right now. And then Rollins gets that win over Punk, and then maybe we move him on to feud with Jay. Like that could be a possibility. Jay gets that title run for a little bit, and then goes on to, and we see Seth regain it after a while.
If they do anything right with this whole John Cena thing, I think they have to end it with Cena versus Punk, probably SummerSlam, and be a situation that John will be going home with a belt if Punk doesn't win, and then I think you can get the Punk Rollins after that, and have Punk drop the belt to Rollins.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I think if you do Punk and Rollins again, since they already had the Hell in a Cell, like it's got to be
It's gonna have to
It's
have
got to be for a
stakes.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah, has to be for a title. If it was me, but you know they can do whatever they want to because they make the big bucks. That's why they're hiring people.
Make the big bucks, make the big decisions. The other thing we got going on right now is Io Sky, and like pretty much the top tier of NXT's women's division with Julia and Roxanne Perez, which resulted in Io showing up on SmackDown Tuesday night, not SmackDown, NXT, and getting her match with was it Roxanne? I think it was Roxanne.
Yeah.
I'm still I'm not sure where they're going with this, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird that they have like an NXT women's invasion angle or something going on.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
a tag match.
maybe they bring Roxanne Perez up, especially since they cleared some roster spots on the main roster.
Yeah. I kind of assumed they were going to bring Roxanne up after WrestleMania. I didn't think they were going to keep bouncing her back and forth between NXT and the main roster. But
Yeah.
I have an issue with that. It's people tuned into NXT. Excuse me. I guess people tuning into NXT, especially with Io going back and forth. And then, yeah, I'm here. I'm here for Io versus Roxanne or Io versus Julia. There'll be some good matches.
Yeah, Julia, I'm not too hot on Julia. She's alright. I just don't see
Shy.
I don't see the popularity. Just not my cup of tea. Or Big
I'm
Bird.
trying to think. The other thing we had.
Not a huge fan of Big Bird.
Becky Lynch pretty much explained why she did what she did. The Raw after Mania, which basically sound like a more passionate version of Cena's promo.
Yeah.
And a better version of it. So essentially the same.
Just think of Cena with a Scottish accent. Or Irish accent, whatever she is. She's Scottish or Irish?
Irish.
Irish. Yeah, I mean it was alright. Hopefully, it gets better. And
Yeah,
we
it's
get
kind
her
of
in
like it's
a more heated feud.
usually those first month or so. Well, the first month after WrestleMania, it's kind of like a slow period as we start to build up, more stories and things like that, and get the momentum rolling again.
Yeah, I think we kind of make fun of Backlash every year, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Especially when they used to do the WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh, that was so bad.
Remember?
But I will say that the one in Puerto Rico was probably one of the better backlashes that they've done in a while. And I think wasn't last year France. Last year was France. Yeah, I think the one 2 years ago was Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's the one where with Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, yeah. Where's it at this year? Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's in the U.S. It's not anywhere fancy.
They probably should have though. They probably would have got like a better, because a lot of times like with the European or South American markets, it's like they get like a rowdier crowd just because they ain't had like an event in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes
Backlash
for
is
a
in St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Which explains why
I know.
Orton's wrestling Cena.
Yeah. Orton Cena. Then after he beats Orton, who else will he verse? Another Cena feud besides Punk? I think it'll end with Punk.
I'm not sure who else on the SmackDown roster we can see Cena up against, because definitely, like, if they put him up against like LA Knight, that's going to be a definite Cena win. Like maybe I could see possibly circling back to Cody for SummerSlam. Oh, that'd be like the only thing I could think of.
I think SummerSlam would be definitely. I think his last match will have to be CM Punk.
Yeah, his last match is not till like December.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
how do you know
the
this?
whole year. Yeah, the whole year. So his final year. He said he was going to take that. He's going to hold on to that title till, December. And after December, you're not going to see him or that title again in the WWE ring.
Dude, he better not keep that shit till December. Better not keep that shit till December.
Unless they have him keep it up till Survivor Series, because they're not doing War Games this year.
Yeah, I heard it, but I think the reason why they said that because they didn't want was they going to do something else?
I don't know. They didn't announce anything in place, but it's just being said that they're not playing War Games match this year.
They should have did Elimination Chamber or something, or traditional Survivor.
Yeah, maybe we'll circle back to that. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that as like kind of a break. Isn't this like wouldn't this be this has to be some kind of Survivor Series anniversary, right?
Maybe they do like a whole pay-per-view of nothing but Survivor Series matches.
Oh, it just says War Games not advertised.
Like it's not advertised, or they're not doing it.
Yeah, they're not advertising War Games. Oh, wow. Okay. So I guess I misread that one.
Maybe they bring back Brock Lesnar for Cena.
By that point, it could be a possibility. 1987 for Survivor Series.
Imagine if there's an ESPN Sportsbook app that linked to the ESPN app so you could track.
All right. I don't know why I did that. Imagine if there's the ESPN app.
Yeah, 38. So you got like 2 more years before like a big anniversary. Oh, it's the 38th
Okay.
Survivor Series, so 2 years will be the 40th.
Yeah, I hope that if they have him keep the title till December, I probably won't be watching wrestling at that point, or I'll be like an AEW. I'll be an AEW mark.
I just don't know what they can do, like as far as because unless they really shake up some of the bigger name guys, or elevate like a Jacob Fatu or a Solo, or something like that into that main event picture. I don't really see who else they're going to put Cena against besides Orton and Cody and Roman. Like that's not going to be really can't. It's not enough to get you through the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean you can't like Seth Rollins. Like the people would that probably want Rollins to win.
Yeah.
Same thing with Punk. Same thing with Roman. I think if he got in the ring with Roman, like the fans would want Roman to win. And not because Cena's a good heel, but just because Roman's a bigger star right now in wrestling among the wrestling community.
Yeah.
Much as it pains me to say that, and then also I don't know if that match would be good because neither one of them have like carried their own match before, and they don't have nobody to come in and carry them.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Unless they like bring Daniel Bryan out of retirement or something as like a triple threat.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Kind of awesome. I don't know. Who else we got? We can rewind to SmackDown. I kind of touched on some of this last week, but Aleister Black returned. Interrupted the Miz. With a sweet kick to the face. We got Aleister Black versus Miz tonight on SmackDown. Which Black picked up the win for that. A lot of people bitching about Black, starting off his return to WWE, taking on the Miz. And I don't understand where the hate's coming from.
Probably because they feel that Aleister Black is like deserving of like a better opponent, where it seems like the Miz is kind of like that jobber guy now that every new person that comes in has a feud with, or celebrity has a feud with. So I think they had like hopes of like a better intro with Aleister Black.
See, and that's the thing. It's not like Miz is one of the better guys on the roster to have a feud with. Like when you're first, coming back or coming in or whatever, and even like the celebrity matches, like who better than, I'm sure that there's a them with, but like the Miz has been injured once the entire time he's been with WWE, a major injury. He's the one that does pretty much everything as far as like media and all that other stuff, the promotional tours, stuff like that. Like Miz is one of the first ones that they call for this stuff outside of like your champions. So like I just don't get the hate with Miz, or the hate with having someone come in or return or whatever, and then they have a match with the Miz.
Yeah, but I think to me too, that's kind of like Aleister Black or Malachi Black, whatever you want to call him. That's kind of his own fault because he really didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was times when you thought like he was gonna be elevated in AEW, but he never really elevated uh, his brand or anything. If anything, he kind of diminished it a little bit in AEW.
Yeah.
So it's not like Cody coming back. You know what I mean? So you're
absolutely.
not gonna have him verse Rollins right off the bat at WrestleMania. So I understand why they haven't started with the Miz. I just think people have Black on this kind of like pedestal, and they think he's kind of too good to come back and verse the Miz.
Yeah, because like Aleister Black, the only thing that he really did in AEW was Trios champion with the House of Black, and that was pretty much it. There was really no, and we bitched about this quite a bit during his run in AEW and how there was nothing notable that they were doing with him. Like there was no major feuds with like any of the like the major champions or anything like that. Hardly any storylines for him. And like in the one story that they did was with Julia Hart, and it took her like 3 years for them to finally pull the trigger on it. So it's just like, I don't know, like, and you know, I agree with your point. Like his brand didn't really get elevated at all, being stuck on AEW. Or I think if he would just went and did indie dates, and then he could have, I bet you he would have had himself elevated higher just by doing indie dates instead of going to AEW.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing with like Miro, or whatever he goes by nowadays. I don't know if he's Rusev again.
Yeah, he's Rusev again.
But he didn't elevate his brand either.
No.
And he was like a big surprise. Like to me, I wouldn't have re-signed him. I think it's just one of those things where it's like, oh, we got another guy from Tony Khan. I think because they had so much success with Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Ricky Starks, that they're like, oh, any AEW guy we hire, we can just bring him in. It's like, no, dude, you had Rusev on the roster plenty of times. Like he didn't build a bigger brand. Like, I don't understand why you would bring him back on the roster.
And it's one of those things too, like especially with Aleister Black. Like you look at his NXT run, NXT Black and Gold run before they brought him up to the main roster, and you know, straddled him as a tag team partner with Ricochet.
Yeah.
And that was all under Triple H. So, like, really, Aleister Black is a Triple H guy. And I think that's part of the reason why he decided to come back now is because Triple H is pretty much, you know, running stuff. And that part I don't blame him on at all. Because Vince pretty much killed any momentum he had coming up from NXT into WWE or to the main roster.
I think Vince's big thing, because it took him a while with Bray Wyatt. I think it's this, like, he doesn't want anyone to be like as good or as big as the Undertaker. Yeah. And it seems like the guys that kind of have that persona, when they get any kind of momentum going, like it seems like he tries to kill it.
And
I think this is one of the reasons why Bray kept reinventing himself. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if he didn't, it's like Vince would probably find a way to sweep him under the rug. But yeah, any kind of those dark characters, it's like the same thing with Karrion Kross and his NXT run. It was really great, and it's like, so let's just kill this momentum. We can't have a dark character. Because God
Let's make him
forbid.
a gladiator.
Yeah.
No. Oh, so stupid. And like I still complain to this day about Bray not getting the win over the Undertaker at that WrestleMania. Like you're building like the whole thing up as Bray is supposed to be your new face of fear. And even after Mania, they're still calling him the new face of fear. Like you can't be the new face of fear if you didn't beat the old face of fear. Like I really believe that Bray should have been the one to break Undertaker's streak and not Brock Lesnar. And if that wasn't going to happen, then Undertaker should have retired undefeated at WrestleMania and should not have lost it all.
Yeah.
Stupid decisions. What else happened? SmackDown. We also had Zelina Vega, who's the new U.S. champion, defeating the leader of the free WWE universe, Chelsea Green, who's no longer our United States champion. A lot of people not too happy about that one either.
Chelsea Green was a little bit more entertaining than our Intercontinental champion. But I'm not one of those people that believe like people should have titles and like hold on to them forever.
Yeah.
And it to me kind of makes for better wrestling when you believe anyone can win any night. So I'm not upset with her winning the title at all. And I think it's kind of much deserved because she's kind of another one that's kind of seems like every time she can get a little bit of momentum, they kind of dial it back a little bit or like throw her into a faction or something.
Yeah. I agree with you. Zelina Vega is awesome. I've been a fan of Zelina since her days in TNA. And like the biggest thing with this, I've seen a few, not more than a few, probably quite a bit of TikTok commentators, other wrestling creators out there talking about how Chelsea was buried because she lost the United States Championship. So, in particular, creator, I'm not going to mention names or anything, but basically said that, they buried Chelsea Green by having Zelina beat her on a random SmackDown. For one, it wasn't a random SmackDown. It's the SmackDown after WrestleMania, which is just as important as the Raw after Mania, the NXT after Mania, and right up there with WrestleMania. It's pretty much a continuation of WrestleMania.
I don't know if I'd say right up there with WrestleMania, but it's irrelevant.
Yeah,
it's irrelevant. Yeah,
it's basically as far as relevancy goes, it's up there because you'll still get like the Monday after Raw. You still get some new faces show up. Some title changes that didn't happen at Mania, and stuff like that. So it's still as far as relevancy to WrestleMania, like I said, it's there. And talk about how Zelina has come out of nowhere and doesn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Zelina's been there for like 10 years. She's been feuding with Chelsea for like the last month. So, and she's lost just about every match except for this one. Mainly due to like some sort of outside interference from Chelsea's Secret Service. And I basically said, I commented on here like losing one match is not being buried. Really wish people would stop using buried when a person loses one match. And then this person replied, so not being booked on the card of WrestleMania and losing your title without a proper storyline is a way to insult talent. So it's like, how is this an insult to I'm still trying to figure
Like,
that out.
oh yeah, I guess I'm a fan of Chelsea Green. Um, but I don't really see this as an insult. Like,
Yeah.
all rings have to come to an end, and um, she made her match. Uh, and I don't think like they're gonna like ship her off to like a island of irrelevancy or nothing like that. I think.
So I responded back like that still isn't being buried. You can't push everyone at once, and not everyone can be booked on Mania. Plus, the shows that follow are, I put just as important as Mania. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would probably have been better off with Chelsea and Zelina at WrestleMania than
than the women's tag title match,
the women's tag match, or the tag team title match.
Which I got barked at for that on TikTok as well, because I said the TLC match from SmackDown should replace the women's tag title match. And then, people coming at me for trying to remove Liv Morgan from the WrestleMania card.
Yeah.
Like,
Liv Morgan's kind of has a cult following.
Yeah, I mean, I like Liv. I do. I'm a fan of Liv Morgan's. But that match was not necessary for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think it was just them trying to kill two birds with one stone. You get Liv involved in WrestleMania, and you bring Becky Lynch back, so you have like a little pop, and then you have Big Bird come out there and fly around. Dude, I think it's turned into fucking Jim Cornette. I got nicknames for the wrestlers.
I did think I like the detail that they put in the wings, like I said last week, was really cool. It's just like out of all like the WrestleMania gear, that's probably my least favorite. So it's just, it was not it. But also SmackDown last week, we had the TLC match for the tag team titles. Great match. Kind of came on as we were wrapping up last week. I mentioned the Street Profits coming out in the Shawn Michaels inspired gear, which is pretty cool. There was one spot in there where dude had a fake leg, prosthetic leg, and he got Montez to use it.
That's pretty awesome. Cool.
So a lot of good stuff in there. Street Profits ended up retaining, which I think was the right call for that. I mean, nothing against the other three teams in that matchup, but Street Profits definitely deserve to have a decent run with the tag titles.
Yeah, I just can't believe they buried everybody else.
I know they all lost and got buried. Motor City Machine Guns buried. DIY buried. Freaking people, man! I tell you. Oh, all right. AEW this week, not a whole lot. MJF kind of got heated with Bobby Lashley because Lashley gave him the thumbs down again for the third week in a row. Lashley got in MJF's face, almost choked his ass out. MVP had to pull him off. So I don't think we're getting MJF in the Hurt Syndicate, which I think is a good thing. So we may see a feud with him.
It don't really make sense to have him in the Hurt Syndicate because you have MVP as like the voice of it. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like MJF as a talker doesn't really make sense to have him in the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, and you're looking at Bobby Lashley. You look at Shelton Benjamin, phenomenal wrestlers in the ring. Talent for days. It's just lacking on the mic. Not as charismatic on the mic as MVP is. So like you don't really need to have, like you're saying, MJF in there too. So it just doesn't make sense to me or anyone else.
Yeah.
We also got the the finals rained out here for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Hangman Page defeated Kyle Fletcher in the main event, a Dynamite, so he'll be going on to take on Will Ospreay. And of course, the winner of that will take on whoever's the world champion come All In. And then same thing, Mercedes Moné will take on Jamie Hayter, and the winner will take on Tony Storm at All In. I think that's pretty much it. Aside from the 30-minute 8-man tag match in the beginning of the show, oh my God. I thought it was overall wasn't bad. There were some spots in there that were kind of stupid. Which mainly, everyone trying to elbow drop each other and everyone keeps moving, which was just stupid and a waste of time. The arm wringer spot in the beginning where they ended up, where Matt Jackson ended up, doing the arm wringer on Ricochet instead of, Kenny Omega. I mean, it's a decent comedy spot in there, but it's just like that match ate up so much time that they could have did it. They could have did something else. Like, there's no reason why that match had to go 35 minutes to open up the show. Just terrible stuff. Well, I don't think it wasn't terrible, but like it could have been a little shorter. Like the match, like that could have been like a solid 20-minute match and still been pretty decent. Yeah, that's that. That is that. Mentioned earlier, TNA Rebellion was Sunday night. I didn't get a chance to watch this, so just run down the quick results here for anyone that is interested. Moose is still your X Division champion, retaining in Ultimate X. Apparently, let's see if I can scroll back up here. Speared Leon Slater as Slater was hanging by the belt. Slater dropped the belt, and Moose picked it up. So since Slater did not hit the ground with the belt in his hands, he did not win the match. So Moose was able to retain the title by Leon Slater's fumble.
I didn't realize that was a roll.
Yeah, apparently.
I thought
we
it was
had that.
getting hooked the title.
Yeah. What do we have here? The TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way. Ash Another by Elegance defending against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Spitfire, Gigi Dolan, and Tatum Paxley. Stop it. Page keeps like sending me back to the top. That was new tag team champions, Ash and Heather by Elegance. We've got the Rascals and Ace Austin taking on the System. Austin and the Rascals picked up the win on that one. Steve Macklin defended the International Championship against Eric Young. Steve Macklin retains. Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana. Mike Santana picked up the win on that one. Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard for the women's title. Masha retained. The Hardys versus the Nemeth brothers for the TNA Tag Team Championship. Nick and Ryan Nemeth picked up the win on that one. And then we had the triple threat match between Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, and am I drawing a blank on the third one? Frankie Kazarian. There we go. And Joe Hendry retained. After the match, Trick Williams came out and attacked Joe Hendry.
Oh, okay.
And then Joe Hendry showed up on NXT this week, and I don't really remember what happened on there because I didn't watch NXT this week. So.
Whoop that trick.
Pretty much. So there is that. That's the weekend review and discussions and all that fun stuff. So Awesome stuff. All right, let's get into. I'm excited for this one. The Elite Figure of the Week. Of course, this is brought to you by EntertainmentEarth.com. Use code FDCollect, save for 10% off all your in-stock items. Today, made a trip to Target on my lunch break. Since, the store I was working is right there next to Target. And I was able to pick up the Legend Series 26 Rosie.
Okay.
But we didn't just get one. We didn't just get one.
You got two?
We got two. Because Rosie was the chase in that line. And we got the superhero in training.
All right.
So pretty stoked for this. I've been waiting for them since they announced the 3-minute warning figures. We got those. It's pretty hyped. I was like, yeah, we're getting superhero Rosie at some point. So my Hurricane collection is pretty much complete right now.
All right.
So we're gonna pop out the Rosie in his full final form superhero costume. Take a look at this. Just both of them come with alternate heads, which are the same heads. So you got the full superhero mask, and then the superhero in training mask as well. Alternate hands. Good freaking Lord. And he's zip tied in the package.
And zip ties.
Why do they think like people are gonna? Oh, I'm sure people would steal it, but this is really cool.
You can start stealing one.
Might as well. Prices are probably going to go up anyway, so might as well start stealing figures. All cloth. The shirt is cloth goods.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. Spared no expense on that one. Lots of awesome detail in that shirt design, which is very accurate. Front and back. Shorts. And it's just, got regular sneakers on. Face sculpt looks awesome. Mask looks good. It's really cool. Really damn cool, man. I was super psyched when I walked in there because I've been in the multiple Targets over the last week and none of them had these figures on the shelves yet. So I walk in and they're both, I see the main Rosie. I take that one off the tag. I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting this one. And then the chase was behind that one. And then I was looking at the Carlito figure that's in the set too. And I take that one off the peg, and behind that one was another chase Rosie. Oh. 2 in 1 store.
Do you get both of them so you can add one to your Hurricane collection and then one to your Bloodline collection?
No, I think they're both going to go on the Hurricane shelf. I put 3-minute warning with the Bloodline collection.
Bloodline.
So here we go. The superhero training.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't do the superhero training on the front because it spells out shit. But they did a really great job. Like this one's not like too difficult. It's very simplistic design for it, but still.
Yeah, I like it.
They did an amazing job in comparison between the two of them. This way. So, like the head scan on this one is like a tad bit different than this one. It's not just the mask; it's like the actual
face.
The face, yeah, looks a little bit different. So, kudos to Mattel. Awesome job on that.
One's a little older than the other.
Yeah. The Rock call him Grimace. Hurricane the Hamburglar. Rosie was Grimace.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. That's probably one of my most anticipated figures of the year is that Rosie. So I still remember when they won the tag titles. Good times. Good times. All right. Awesome stuff. Okay. So there's the elite figure of the week. Let's go ahead and get over to the instant replay. Fatal. That's what we're doing now. Fatal 4-way. I think that. I'm pretty sure we're doing that.
We're going back over to the instant replay.
Instant replay of the instant replay. I've only had 1 year, so good. All right, Fatal 4-way. I'm going to switch it up with a little bit here. So instead of getting rid of one, which one do you want to keep out of some recently released talent? If you're given full creative with these specific talents, I know Caden and Katana are technically two, but they're a tag team, so I didn't want to split them up. But all the four, Caden and Katana, Dakota Kai, Gigi Dolan, and Braun Strowman, who would you keep in WWE?
Definitely not keeping Braun.
But I thought he was your favorite.
I'm probably gonna go. I'll probably go Dakota Kai. It's a toss up between Dakota Kai and GG.
Okay.
But I think I'd probably go Dakota Kai just because to me she's kind of had like more memorable moments. And I think, like, if booked correctly, she could get back to that if, brought her back to NXT or something. Yeah, I would go Dakota Kai.
Yeah. I'm pretty much in that same boat with you. Toss up between Dakota and Gigi. I'm a big fan of both of them, but I think Gigi really had more to offer. And really needed to, I just don't think he got a chance to shine.
That's true too, because we kind of seen what Dakota Kai had. It'd be a tough decision, but yeah. And then out of all of them, Braun would probably be my least likely to bring back.
Oh man.
I mean, he was okay in the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
But it's just there's only so much you can do, like the monster dude. And I don't know. I just never was a really big fan of like big slow guys that didn't do wrestling moves.
Yeah, like I said, like his two biggest matches since they brought him back were Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu.
And he lost both of those. He's just basically coming for both of those guys. And yeah, it's just I mean, he's better than Jack Gonzalez and some of the other big Jack Khali. Some of the other big.
It's not hard to do for one. So,
but still, he's kind of very limited. And he never got like any like real good storyline. Like Kane never was a really good wrestler, but he was kind of involved in storylines that made him relevant. You know what I mean? I never was a huge fan of him either. Um, so yeah, I don't know. This is not my style of wrestling.
Yeah. Wasn't really a big Braun guy. Like I didn't even. I was still kind of like, why is he in the Wyatt family? Like, I don't understand why they needed to add a fourth because he really didn't add much. So it's kind of disappointing with that one. But there we go.
And then now Ozempic Braun Strowman doesn't look like that intimidating. Isn't that big anymore?
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Okay. There's that. No holds bar. This is brought to you by Redbubble Store, redbubble.com/people/WrestleGetAPod. Go buy some stuff. Buy the shirt. All right. How'd you like the Minecraft movie?
I liked it, man. It was really good. A lot better than what I thought it would be. Kids enjoyed it. Ate a shit ton of popcorn.
They yell chicken jockey and start throwing popcorn around.
No, we didn't throw any popcorn, but yeah, it was fun. It was good. I liked the storyline. Like they didn't try to go too serious. They kind of just like invented a storyline out of thin air. And I think that was great. Instead of trying to do some kind of like stupid origin story or something like that.
Kids yearn for
I thought yeah. I thought it was really good, Like I liked it.
One of my favorite parts in that is when Jack Black and Jason Momoa are on like the glider thing and they're trying to go through that little cavern. He's like, we got to go nose to toes. He's like, you sure? He's like, that's the only way we're going to fit, nose to toes.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I never thought, Jack Black and Jason Momoa in a 69 position would have been on the bingo card for 2025. But here we are.
Yeah.
In a kids movie, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Well, it was good. I quite enjoyed it. And thankfully, I got to see it before the whole chicken jockey trend started.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure somebody would have acted a fool.
Yeah, we was like at our like early matinee.
Yeah.
So we kind of beat the riff-raff out.
Nice. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was anything. I haven't really watched anything else.
NFL draft was entertaining.
I know, kind of talked a little bit about that last week. I know you were.
Yeah, that was just day one. It's all weekend, Chris. They have like 7 rounds. So.
I know. Oh, I don't know a lot, but I know that. Thunderbolts came out this weekend. Apparently not that big of a deal. A lot of people are not liking it.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking that Sinners movie.
I've been hearing a lot about that one. I've seen a lot of TikToks about it too. With like the vampire rules and stuff, and they're like, if I was in the movie Sinners, this is how it would be. And the dude's like running into this house and he closes the door and he's like arguing with the vampire behind a closed door. He's like, wait a minute, you can't come in. So he opens the door. He's like, you can't get me. And he's standing in the door. He's like, you want some Kool-Aid? It's just freaking hilarious. The vampire's like, no, I want to come in. I want you. I want to eat you. He's like, yeah, you can't come in. He's like, how about I step outside?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Gotcha. A lot of fun stuff out there.
I don't know if you've been watching. Well, I said it's like I don't know, like I know you. I for sure know you hadn't been watching the NBA playoffs, but it kind of felt kind of old school that we have on the East. We have the Cavaliers and the Pacers, and then the Knicks and the Celtics.
Oh, wow.
Like, oh yeah, man, Knicks in the playoffs. Yeah. Some of your more old school teams.
Nice. Oh, man. I think there's anything. Oh, GalaxyCon. GalaxyCon Raleigh announced the Hardys yesterday.
I'm not surprised.
I know. It's not like they're not there like every year. So, but
And they usually have the longest line too, which is like the crazy thing.
yeah.
Like everybody goes back year after year to see them.
What was the other thing? Oh, Big Time Wrestling looks like they're starting to make their rounds again down this way as they're hitting up Spartanburg. And that is June 6th. And then July 25th, they'll be in Charlotte at the Truist Field. They announced Sting will be appearing there as well. And they're pretty much advertising it as Sting's only appearance in the Carolinas.
We driving down to Charlotte to get to
it? Possibility. I'm talking to my wife about it. It's July 25th, so it's a Friday night. I did talk to my wife. She's like, "Oh, if you want to go." Then I got I got the AEW Chase Sting figure. And then they have the Target exclusive from last year's Revolution for a Sting's final match. So I want to get one of those two signed by them if I could. If I was going to go.
He's not advertised for the one in Spartanburg?
No.
No.
Nope. Spartanburg has Bret Hart, Sergeant Slaughter, Scott Steiner, Matt Riddle's on the card, James Ellsworth versus Alicia Fox in a steel cage match for the Intergender Championship. And then they have a 6-man bunkhouse match in a steel cage with the Rock and Roll Express taking on the Andersons, which is Brock Anderson, C.W. Anderson, and George South.
Oh, shit.
Didn't Robert Gibson retire?
No, he didn't. He didn't retire.
Because when we when we went to that Big Time Wrestling event, that was like, the Night of the Dragon event, weren't they billing it as like one of Robert Gibson's last appearance in the Dorton Arena?
Yeah, in the Dorton Arena.
Like I commented on here too and said, "Hey, y'all coming back to Dorton?" when they announced the Charlotte one. So they didn't respond back. Like, come on, I didn't know. You coming back to Dorton or not? So
was it Charlotte that had was it the Great American Bash or something where Ric Flair flew in like on a helicopter?
Oh yeah, the what Starcade?
Or Starcade, yeah.
Yeah, the WWE
I remember
night
it was like in a
Starcade.
baseball, but I'll say it was it Charlotte?
Might have been
Like at a baseball field?
probably.
Because it was like a 2 night. I think I'll say it was the Great American Bash, but I thought it was like a 2 night thing. I didn't watch it live or nothing, but I think it was like I remember watching it on the network. Um, and they had two of them, and one was like in the Greensboro Coliseum, and like the other one was like outside. I can't remember if it was like Charlotte.
Yeah, it was
I'll say like the
NWA's
main
Great
event
American
was
Bash.
Ric Flair versus Ricky Morton. Ric Flair versus Ricky Morton.
Yeah, North America, the Great American Bash, 1986 in Charlotte.
Bash Street.
Oh Lord. Yep. Okay. So there's that. Mad Monster Expo in Charlotte in August has announced Saraya will be one of their guests. This is kind of the first time I've seen her at a convention outside of like a WrestleCon or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all that's going on. Carolina Fear Fest coming up 23rd. Going to that. That'll be fun.
May.
Yep. Well, Sunday the 24th.
Anybody big
solid.
gonna be there?
They got Malcolm McDowell, Nancy Loomis, Daryl Roebuck, who was Grandpa Monster in the Rob Zombie Monsters movie, Bill Moseley from House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie trilogy there, William Catt, Alex Vincent, Eileen Dietz, Samantha Mathis, Christine Elise, Tyler Levine, Tiffany Sheps, Kyle Levine, and Tracy Lords. Yeah, those are pretty good guesses.
Yeah. You're gonna get your gallon of milk signed by McDowell.
No, I was more interested in meeting Tyler Levine. I love Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and that TV show he was on, Reaper. Met Christina Louise, met Alex Vincent, William Katz from The Greatest American Hero. Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby. And that's pretty much all I've got this week. I got anything else?
Yeah, that's it. That's good.
All right. Got anything? Anything on Ed?
Nothing else. That's no holds barred. I talked a little bit of basketball. I talked a little bit about the draft. Yeah. Unless you want to talk hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah, hockey.
Oh, I could not tell you the last time I watched a hockey game.
Well, it's been a while since Chris last watched the hockey game. It's been a while. But it's one of those things that they're playoffs too. Like the NBA.
Yeah.
But none of my teams are in it, so I don't watch it that hard when my team ain't in it.
You don't watch it. Hard.
I mean, yeah, I watch it hard.
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
I mean, I guess Carolina's still in it, so well, maybe they'll win it all or something.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. All right, y'all. Make sure you guys follow us on our social media outlets, especially over on TikTok, because we would like to start streaming this live simultaneously on TikTok as we do on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram sucks when it comes to live streaming. So yeah, we need 1,000 followers. We're kind of there, almost there. A little ways off, 300 something. So yeah, share us, let us know, let your friends know, your neighbors know, wrestling fans, your butcher, all those guys. The rest of our social media stuff is fine. Linktree in the bio, all that fun stuff. Put there, and they'll take you where you want to. On behalf of myself, Chris Matthews, this is episode 281 of the Wrestling Podcast, and we'll chat with you guys next week.